Can somebody please tell me what the benefits of alcohol are? Because I have really yet to find any besides using it as a social lubricant and then using it as a way to feel good for like 30 minutes. It's just crazy to me that we've glorified this substance in our culture that is so detrimental to our health, and glorified it in our universities and in our football stadiums and really any aspect of like core American culture. We've glorified this substance, and our work happy hours have it. It's just absolutely crazy to me that this substance that does so much harm and damage to users and then the surrounding people that are around the user, it's just crazy to me with the drunk driving. And I mean, I just almost don't believe it. I think it's because we grow up not respecting alcohol in our culture. Whereas in like Europe, they'll have a glass of wine during dinner. France, you have champagne, whatever. But I think here in America, we've glorified this like going hard, partying thing, especially in college and in the years after, where you're supposed to go out and get hammered, and you're supposed to, drink to forget and all these other things. And maybe I just was around the wrong people, but this is how I really feel the culture was around drinking. And it's really disappointing because in moderation, it can be a way to have more experiences with people, but I just don't think that there's any place for it at all, even with moderating it because of the culture. Like I said, if you're in Italy, France, whatever, it's more of a cultural thing, whereas here in America, it's like we're drinking, we're using it as a drug, we're using it as a way to forget about everything. It's just crazy to me. And like I said, maybe I was just around the wrong people. I've never been able to find success in moderation, really in any aspect of my life. I'm either fully in or I'm fully out. That has always been the way for me, and that was the same with drinking. Is I would either abstain completely or I would go hard, because it was like, if I'm doing it, might as well do it. For me personally, I would take a drink and then I would start to feel shitty after 30 minutes. So it's like, what's the point of this? So might as well have another drink. And that was just that continuous cycle of negative downward spiraling behavior that led me to the decision to go completely sober indefinitely, perhaps for my entire life. And I feel great. I was recently watching this video about another guy that has been sober for much longer than I have, and he said that in your first 60, 90, 120 days that you do feel the greatest because your contrast from those previous 60 or 90 days is so great. So you're drinking really hard for, however long you have been, and then you stop. Obviously, if you're a casual to moderate drinker. If you're a heavy user and you're physiologically dependent on alcohol, please speak to a medical professional. But if you're a casual to moderate drinker and you've been drinking for however long, and then you stop, you're going to feel great. It's just going to happen. But that feeling of greatness will eventually become your normal. And then you won't have anything relative to reference recently in your mind. So 6 months from now, you'll just feel normal. And then you'll be like, well, I bet I could drink again. I'm sure it's not that bad. And because you don't have that frame of reference so recently from when you stopped drinking. And I just found that interesting because that's where I'm at right now. I quit drinking earlier this year. And like I said, I've been able to stop for, I think 6 months, obviously like 18 years at the start of my life, and then like 6 months more recently once I did start drinking. So I've never really had that like year, 2 year, 3 year experience, but I will someday. And it's just interesting. Just my thoughts on that there, and I think that if we respected alcohol more as a country and used it more as like a way to expand our culture rather than let's go out and get hammered. Now, I'm not saying people in Italy and France don't go get hammered, but I think here in the U.S. It's just a different culture. I'm definitely going to make a video about, the statistics behind that, because I think that'd be an interesting thing to examine there. But yeah, just my thoughts. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It really lets me know you're enjoying the content, and thank you for watching.